Welcome back to another episode of NewOrleans.Football presented by PJ's Coffee, coming to you from the great PJ's location up here on Airline Highway, right across the street from Rouse's. Make sure you come and check them out. Start every day up here. And if you're coming here, you might as well drive in a car you got from my guy, Matt Bowers. He's got the best cars, best customer care, the best prices, the best service, the best car buying experience that you can have in and out. Without a doubt, he'll get you the best prices. If you are buying a car, shop smart, shop local, buy from Matt. You get the lifetime warranty. He will get you right. Our first topic today is presented by Shea Bear Insurance, the Earhart agency. I just hit them up this week. They saved me $120 a month on my car insurance. No lie. Make sure you check them out. Ryan will get you right. Spencer Rattler, we talked to him today at the golf tournament. Wasn't surprised that they drafted a quarterback. Seemed to have some inclination that there was going to be a change at quarterback, so he kind of prepared throughout the offseason as if this was something that could potentially happen. I think he had a little insight into what was going on with Derek probably before most of us. What do you think he has to do to beat out Shough? Like, what are the odds that this can even actually happen?
I think it should be fairly competitive. I mean, I think Shough wins a tie, but I think if Rattler is a little better, definitely if he's significantly better this summer, I think they could start off with Rattler. I mean, Rattler's not really a veteran, so to speak, but he has 6 NFL starts and a whole year under his belt. Tyler Shough has the 40th pick in the draft. Those guys don't start all the time. I mean, I'm thinking of Will Levis drafted around the same time. He didn't get to start right away his rookie year. Now he was waiting behind like Ryan Tannehill. Even Drake May waited behind Jacoby Brissett. It's not weird for someone drafted 40th to not be ready right away, and I don't think that would be an indictment on Tyler Shough. The only thing with Rattler is he's not a veteran. He's a young guy, too. He's actually a year younger than Shough. But, I mean, if Rattler looks like, I've got the year under my belt, I'm a little ahead of you, you need a little more seasoning, and I'm going to build off of the 7 games I played in last year and hit the ground running, I think the Saints should consider actually letting Rattler start. And I don't think that, like, stunts Shough's growth or is an indictment on Shough or ruins the investment they made in Shough, just because Rattler might be ready sooner. So I think it should be a real competition. Now, I'll predict Shough's going to win it. But I think I'm not going to bet like significant, but I think the odds should be pretty close.
I lean a different direction.
Yeah,
on this. I think
that's fair.
I think I lean pretty far the other direction, because it's not like he's coming in behind a vet.
No, I get it.
If you're coming in behind a vet and that guy's more ready than you and he's had 20, 30, 40, 50 NFL starts and you can't beat him out, so be it. If it's Brian Hoyer and you can't beat him out right away, so be it. But it is a guy with 6 starts. Not a lot of experience, not a lot of pedigree. He's basically a rookie in and of himself. I don't think there's anything on there that blows you away with it. But
I wasn't making any, just to be clear, I'm not predicting Rattler would win, but I'm just saying he should get a real opportunity.
I think it would be an indictment, though.
Yeah,
I would be very alarmed. I would be very alarmed if you can't come in and win this job, because they drafted him knowing Derek Carr ain't going to be there.
Yeah.
You put this pick on the board so that he does come in. You have your starter. You're replacing a guy that was just drafted a year ago and looked somewhat promising.
Yeah.
And now you're saying, no, this guy has way more promise. And you're putting a stop to that promise. You're not accepting whatever it is. You're trying to end it. So, look, this is kind of like if you have a fine coffee machine, but you spend 6 months every single day scouting every single espresso machine there is, reading all the reviews, watching all the YouTube videos.
That's kind of how I do it.
You go out,
my wife nuts.
you go out and you buy it, and it's thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And you've made every best effort to get it right. It's possible you might say using this thing sucks, and you just go back to old trusty and you do it with that one. But you're going to make every effort to make sure this machine that you invested in and cannot return does work, and that you are getting daily use out of it, and it is enhancing your life in the way that you want it to, and you aren't easily going to give up on it. So I would say the odds are like far over here.
That's the conversation, and that we don't know this coaching staff well enough. We don't know what kind of decisions they make. We don't know. No, it's let the best man win. It's funny. We're going to talk about Pierre Thomas later. Very famously, the Saints once traded up to draft a running back in the 4th round, Antonio Pittman, and Pierre Thomas, the undrafted running back, beat him out that summer, and they went with the undrafted guy. But another one that just popped into my mind as an example was Colston Adebo. They draft Alontae Taylor in the 2nd round, but Colston Adebo was better, and he got the job. The question is, So competition is competition, but how significant is the investment? Is the investment in Tyler Shough such that even if he's showing more inconsistency in the summer, they're like, no, this is our guy, and we're going to ride with him through the highs and lows. So that's the question, is how much of the investment plays a role in this? And I think we both agree. If it was Jacoby Brissett, they'd be like, hey, Tyler, let's wait. Maybe he'll come in week 6. But since it's Spencer Rattler, are you undermining confidence? Are you saying something? Like, if he doesn't beat him out, it's kind of a weird dynamic. It's a dynamic you do not see very often. I could not think of very many good comps, really.
Yeah, I think it plays out like this. If you aren't ready, you don't go to him. But I think it says more if you aren't ready. And I think the idea here is do you believe they made the right decision or not? Like, do I believe that Spencer Rattler could be better than Tyler Shough? Absolutely. I think there's a reality where that wouldn't even blow my mind, really. Like, I don't believe in anybody that much yet until we see it in an NFL game. Nobody's shown anything really yet. We've seen a little bit of Rattler, and I kind of believe in somewhat of his upside.
Yeah.
I don't know what Tyler Shough is yet. I think he's going to probably be really good. I think he has a chance to be really good. I think he has all the physical tools, the traits, the size, the arm. It's just, what happens in the pocket. But I just don't believe that Kellen Moore got this super wrong. And I think he made a decision.
I think that's why it's such an interesting conversation. I think Spencer Rattler could very easily be ahead of Tyler Shough in September of 2025 without meaning that they drafted the wrong guy. Like I said, Drake May wasn't starting week 1. He was the 3rd pick of the draft, and everyone's excited about him. You're not wrong about a quarterback if he's not ready to start in week 1. It's just it's who he's being compared to that changes the conversation. But the other thing about Rattler, I'll say nothing but good things about Rattler. Like, I wanted them to cut Derek Carr in January because I kind of want to see what year 2 Rattler looks like. I liked year 1, the highs and lows, but the high points. And I feel like, man, he should hit the ground running now and be so much better in year 2. I'd like to get another look at him at some point. So it's very weird. I actually wouldn't be surprised at all if Rattler has a better preseason than Shough. And I would not in any way think that means they got the pick wrong. But it is very weird because they're both 25-year-old guys. If you pick Rattler over Shough, are you doing more than just saying Shough needs a few more months or another year? Are you saying we got the pick wrong? That it's a really interesting
we're going to find out. We're going to find out on Thursday. We've never seen him practice with the real team. We've seen him in the rookie thing. He looked okay there. I'm kind of expecting to see it with him quicker than we've seen it with anyone else that's coming in.
That would make sense.
I don't know why. I just have a feeling that we're going to see it, and it's just going to be like, all right, like, and it's going to be fine, like, from the beginning. I just don't think there's going to be a huge separation between them, but it is fascinating. Yeah. It's a fascinating situation, and I agree with you. I don't think if he's not ready to go week 1, it means you got it wrong, but it just – I think not being able to win this job in this circumstance for any of them is kind of like, man, like, this isn't the hardest situation to win. And this is like, if you are a young quarterback coming into a situation, this is probably the fairest situation you would ever enter. Shough has the upper hand going into it. If you can't close that deal on this situation, I'm at least looking at it like a little bit like it's easier to preach patience when it's Brissett, it's Brian Hoyer, it's Jimmy Garoppolo, it's Andy Dalton, whatever. Like, okay, Bryce Young's not ready. Andy Dalton's there. He's played a lot of football. I get it. Like, if you can't come in and beat out, but again, though, if you aren't ready, I don't think you send him out there. You let somebody else go out there and take them bullets and bring him in when he's ready, because this is the guy that you are investing the most in, and you need him to work.
Yeah, look, and there could be a case for don't throw Tyler Shough out there, which is the same case usually when you're throwing a Brian Hoyer out there. Let's flip this around, though. What does it say for you? Talked to Spencer Rattler today. Of course, he's confident. He should have confidence. He's battled so much adversity. He's risen above it time and time again. If he can't beat out Tyler Shough in this situation, like, is that it for him?
No, I don't think that's it for him. I just think that I don't think he's supposed to win.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it means. You can go somewhere else. Just let it start your villain arc and use it as motivation and go somewhere else and prove the whole world wrong and burn the world down and do what you got to do. Yeah, go to South Carolina and just do it again.
Yeah.
But I mean, they've made their decision, basically. It's his job to try to change their mind, and if he can't, okay, so be it. Go somewhere else and prove everybody wrong. I mean, that's the Spencer Rattler story at this point.
Yeah, no, I agree to you, Tyler. Tie goes to Tyler Shough.
I don't even think a tie goes with I think even a slight loss. Yeah.
And or the decision is all about Tyler Shough. Like, if for any reason, the difference with Drake May, part of the reason Drake May didn't start right away last year is because their offensive line was in shambles, and they thought it could be a detriment to his growth to throw him out there. I don't feel like that's part of this conversation at all. I'm not scared to put Tyler Shough behind Kelvin Banks and Tali Fuaga and Eric McCoy and Cesar Ruiz. So, sometimes you decide, let's not throw him out there right away because it's better for his development. I think if he looks ready, they'll put him out there.
Yeah, I think this season's really just about finding out what you got, too. It really is. And I don't think – I think they're willing to take the growing pains with Shough as long as it's close. And
it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird if Spencer Rattler goes out there and throws a couple touchdowns in his first 2 preseason games and Shough looks more uneven like Rattler did in his first preseason or whatever. It's gonna be a weird conversation. Rattler should look a little more comfortable right away.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, he's been through an offseason. He's been through a camp. He's been through 6-7 appearances.
Yeah.
He's been through a fired coach. He's been through an interim coach. Like, he's been through a lot. He's been through this exact situation before. He should know how to handle it. He should know how to deal with it. And yeah, I think that year of experience in most situations should be a significant advantage, especially a quarterback. Yeah. Like, he knows what it takes. Yeah. Difference is I don't know. Shough's an older guy. Like, I don't know how does that cut down on the learning curve? Does that help with the, I'm living outside of college. I'm an adult. Like, because he is an adult. Like, kind of a lot of these guys coming in are like 21 and think about when you were 21, like, you were an idiot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these guys are out on their own.
An idiot, but some 21-year-olds are.
I was the dumbest person in the world when I was 21. No doubt about it. Moving on to our next topic. When I was 21, I would have been hitting this hard, and I'd still hit it now if I wanted to. Hardhide, much strawberry whiskey. Make sure you check it out. They got the peach too, the Chilton County peach. It's the orange bottle. It's the red bottle. Make sure you find it. It's in all your favorite bars, restaurants, everywhere you want it. They got it. Check out Hardhide. So yeah, a couple debate topics here, and I think we debate different than Skip and Stephen A debate. But I'm just curious, getting some takes on a couple different topics here. It is the off season.
I like it.
We got to fill it out. Who was the better first round pick in the 2017 draft, Marshon Lattimore or Ryan Ramczyk?
You came up with the question, so I need to ask a question for you. Does value matter at all, or are you saying if they got picked with the same pick?
Left tackle, yeah. If they got picked with the same pick.
They got picked with the same pick. I'm going to still go Lattimore. If Ramczyk had longevity on his side, then they were close enough. I mean, both of them were like second-team All-Pro level, close to first-team All-Pro level guys. Both of them play extremely important positions. They both were as good as anyone who ever played it. But I think Lattimore was on top, a hair longer, and made a little bit more of an impact. It's incredibly close. If Ramczyk would have lasted a couple more years than Lattimore, that would have been enough to break the tie for me. But I'll give a slight edge to Lattimore. Where are you?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's almost a push on this
close.
One. It's really, really tight. This is kind of unbelievable. This is truly unbelievable.
Games?
How many games?
I didn't look it up before I started giving my answer.
How many games?
Is it almost the exact same number?
How many games do you think Lattimore played?
Lattimore, I was
8 years.
8 years with the Saints? Or
8 years with the Saints.
Man, I can't believe it was 8. So in 8 years, I bet he missed 15. And then obviously he was with Washington for half a season. So he played 64, somewhere around 80 games.
97.
All right. 97 with the Saints?
97.
Oh, I'm way off then. Okay.
Ramczyk, 101. He actually played more games. Yeah, I would have got that
more
wrong
games.
I would have got
Lattimore
that wrong
with the Saints.
Yeah, I would have got that wrong.
Dang.
I mean, we forget that Lattimore basically missed his last 3 seasons with the Saints, more or less.
That's true.
Due to the trade.
That's true.
And then 7 games, 10 games. Yeah.
They ended right around the same time, too.
Yeah.
So Lattimore's last, 16-game season was 21, Was that Ramczyk's last 16-game season too? Or he actually came back and had one more healthy
I think it's
season.
Ramczyk, dude. Like,
Ramczyk had 16 games in 22.
2 second-team All-Pros, a first-team All-Pro.
If you do include value, you took one at 11, you took one at 32. Ramczyk's definitely the best.
Ramczyk definitely wins when you it's close enough. That, yeah.
But let's say somebody put you in a time machine and you didn't get back into the draft. You stopped to talk to Jordan Spieth for a minute, and you didn't get there in time to tell them to take Pat Mahomes. So now you're on the clock at 11. Who do you take? I mean, you take Alvin Kamara, but who do you take, Ramczyk or Lattimore at 11?
I'm not just trying to be contrary here. Like, I think I really go Ramczyk. Career ends at the same time, basically. It goes bad at the same time. Like, you're getting the same amount of games out of both of them. I feel like I can build around Ramczyk's consistency and have an anchoring point on my team, whereas the Lattimore one was shaky the whole time. It was a little bit up, a little bit down. Yeah.
Dennis Allen's running in. I would take Ramczyk. Lattimore was a nightmare for his coaching tenure.
No doubt about it. Yeah. But I can't argue the other way. I really feel like it's a coin.
I think Lattimore was the more supreme talent.
I agree with that.
When he hit his high points,
I agree with that.
He was the comet. And Ramczyk was a very good, a great, solid is an offensive term to describe Ramczyk's career, but he's an elite, solid, foundational player.
I feel like it's funny and like it's weird. I mean, I don't. This makes no sense in my mind, but like I think after like the 1920 season, I would have no doubt taken Ryan Ramczyk. No doubt. And I feel like as time went on, we saw him deteriorate a little bit. And he was on the field deteriorating, whereas Lattimore was out of sight, out of mind. But when he was on the field, he was still good. He has the broken thumb or whatever, playing with the cast. He's breaking up passes, still making plays. Like his down was off the field. And then like he didn't play unless he was 100%. And I feel like that back half separated it for me a little bit, and it probably shouldn't. But like at 20... it was like Lattimore started out so high, and then it was like frustrating. Why isn't this guy playing better? Why isn't he practicing better? Every year, the same things. Hey, like, oh, the season's long, da-da-da, like all this stuff. And I think at 20, like Ramczyk was still at a peak, and then it was kind of down. I think maybe one of the first times we did our top 20 or whatever it is, I think I had like Ramczyk like at the very top of that list when we did that. But
yeah, you did that pretty late in the process.
Something like rattled a little bit late in that back half where we seen his downside, and I don't think Lattimore showed us his.
Well,
really.
I think it's a pretty good indication that this was a tie because they both made it to second contracts, and Lattimore's second contract was 5 years, $97 million, and Ramczyk's second contract was 5 years, $96 million.
Man, look at that.
So they were basically in the same tier.
Unbelievable. All right, going on to the next one here. Who you taking to be the tiebreaker? Lattimore or Ramczyk? Brandon went Lattimore. Better connection, Brees Colston, Brees Thomas. This one's easy for me.
Well, this is another longevity versus peak. I mean, you've had the Michael Thomas versus Brandon Cooks career debate for a long time, and it's a fascinating question. But, I mean, this is similar to what I said before. Thomas was the comet. I mean, I want the longevity that Brees and Colston gave. It's the greatest connection in Saints history. The most important years in Saints history happened when they were there. But Thomas was another level. Like, I want Colston's career, but I want Thomas's talent. But so I don't know what we're basing this on. But Thomas was one of the greatest players I've ever watched play football. Colston had an incredible career. And I want that. I would take that. If you told me I have to have their careers, I'll take Colston. But if I'm taking 1 year, if I'm taking one game, I'm taking Thomas.
Yeah, I'm going. The Mike Thomas one's easy for me. That's the standard. He's like you said. He's one of the best players I've ever watched play football. And Colston's very, very good, very talented. A guy that a building block of the organization. Mike Thomas is on a different level. Yeah. And it's like the music act that gives you like the 3 great albums at the start and then never records another one again. Like I'm fine with it. Like I can ride off those 3 and someone else can have 12, 15, 18 albums. Give me those 3 all day. Like they were that good. So yeah, for me, it's Mike. I agree with everything you said though. same vein, kind of. Best UDFA gem, Pierre Thomas or Lance Moore?
This is another one. This is more like the Ramczyk Lattimore. I mean, it's the same. Their career length is about the same. Their career touchdowns is about the same. Their number of career 1,000-yard seasons and total yardage is about the same. I went back and forth thinking about this one, and I kept changing my mind. But I think I'm going to go with Pierre for a couple of reasons, even though I'm not usually a running back guy. I think, first of all, Pierre was a Saints pick. And credit to them for sticking with him. Lance Moore was actually a Browns pick, I believe, and then a Panther. And no, that was Willie Snead. That was with the Panthers. But Lance Moore, this was his second team when they found him, and he was in year 2 when Sean Payton discovered him. But Pierre hit that higher high too. He was just absolutely essential, irreplaceable on this team a couple of times, especially when Reggie Bush was hurt. Lance Moore was always kind of the third best pass catcher on the team, even though he was excellent at his job. And Pierre had that NFC Championship game over the Vikings where he had 2 touchdowns, the kickoff return, and the 4th down conversion in overtime, and then a touchdown in the Super Bowl that year too. So he hit his absolute peak in the Super Bowl season. I got to go Pierre, I think. It's very close.
It's tough, man. I was gonna go Lance on the 2-point conversion as the tiebreaker, but I mean, you make valid points that Pierre
scored the first touchdown of that game.
Yeah, I'm gonna defer to you since you were there for it and you were covering the team. So we're going Pierre on this one.
I think so. I think I got to go Pierre.
All right.
I think I got to go Pierre.
Lance, weird. Got to say,
was injured that season. Lance only had 14.
Oh, all right, yeah. All right. Brandon goes Pierre.
You go Pierre? Yeah. Pierre, look, I almost wanted to go with Lance because I think Lance is probably more underrated and deserves credit. He had a 1,000-yard season and a 928-yard season, and really just had a special career. But I think Brandon grew up in the area. Saints fans who were season tickets, I think Pierre is like held in a certain esteem. Like you'll find a lot of people around town who might say Pierre was their like favorite Saints player of that era.
Going to the next one. You cannot say 2011. It's not part of the equation.
That would have been
what was the best team the Saints ever had?
I mean, 2009. Like that's the debate for me is 11 or 9. The problem with 11 is their defense let them down too much. The 2011 offense, I think, is the best offense I've ever seen. Like I think it has an argument for being the best single season offense in NFL history. But I think 2009 is 50-50 in the conversation for better team because that defense like led the league in takeaways and sacks or sacks. I think had takeaways. They had a good run game in both of those years or whatever. But that 2009 team was just there wasn't a flaw anywhere in that 2009 team. It was their most balanced.
The one team I think that doesn't get talked about enough here is the 18 team, and I think if you put those 3 teams at a neutral field, like any one of the 3 could win any time. 18 might win more than the 09 team if they played a 7-game series or something. The 18 team might win. I mean, there was a ton of talent on that one. I just feel like that one gets like lost in the shuffle for some reason. But like player for player, talent for talent, that's like one of the better NFL teams. Period.
The problem with
that
the 18
era
team is they ran out of gas. Like the 18 team. Through December 1st or whatever. That was when Brees started out with 28 touchdowns and 2 picks. And that's prime Alvin, that's prime Mike Thomas, that's DeMario, that's prime Cam. But that team just, man, they stumbled. They were running on fumes into the playoffs and barely had anything left in that Rams game. And that's why they're not remembered as fondly. They weren't playing the best football of the season down the stretch.
09 wasn't either. They lost 3 straight that season.
So I mean, they had the playoffs.
Yeah,
the Super Bowl.
Sometimes it's like that. Yeah, the Saints were. Yeah, I mean, they ran out of gas because dude couldn't, throw a flag. Like that's why they ran out of gas. They were winning the Super Bowl that year. No question about it. Going on to the next one. This is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorite what ifs. This isn't really like a debate thing. It's just kind of a thought that I have in my head all the time. If Jameis Winston never gets hurt when they're 5-2. In that Tampa game, does Sean Payton leave? Does Dennis Allen become the head coach? Does Derek Carr end up a New Orleans Saint?
This is tough. I first heard whispers about Sean Payton being burned out and thinking he was going to leave after the season around Thanksgiving that year.
Quick interjection, though.
Yeah.
That's after it went in the tubes.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying.
Jameis is hurt.
So what I'm saying
he was burnt out.
No.
Hold on. He was burnt out and out of gas in 14,
After
15, 16, and then he has the 17 draft.
Yeah.
And
No, you're right.
all of a
you're
sudden
right.
he's not burnout.
So, but just to set the stage that it wasn't just Sean Payton in February deciding to walk away from the Saints. Like, he started thinking about that as that season started to wear on him. If Jameis doesn't get hurt, they were 5-2 to start. With Jameis, they make the playoffs. I mean, they almost made the playoffs anyway, even though I think Trevor Siemian went like 0-4.
Yep.
So if they make the playoffs with Jameis, first of all, Sean Payton's getting Coach of the Year love.
Yes.
He's getting votes. He's going back to the playoffs. He's getting heralded. The season matters, so maybe he gets burnout less. Yeah, I think maybe he doesn't walk away. I think he probably doesn't walk away.
I think he probably doesn't either. Yeah. He's getting all the attention he loves. He's the confirmed quarterback whisperer. He resurrected,
Yep.
I don't want to give him too much credit for Drew, but like he brought Drew back from the abyss. He brings Jameis back from the abyss. He's smarter than everybody. He's a genius. I think something that matters very deeply to Sean is getting into the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And I think if you made it work with Jameis Winston after the league kind of looked at him a certain way, I think that strengthens his credential in a very significant way. If he outsmarts everyone on Bo Nix, I think he kind of gets similar.
Yeah.
He gets it that way. But doing it with Jameis,
I agree.
I think it changes. I don't know if he's still here now. It might have went sideways. He might have still left, but it definitely changes. I don't think he leaves that year. I think they make the playoffs, and like you said, he's probably getting Coach of the Year with that. And who won it that year? And what year was that? 21? That was 21.
It wasn't Arians because they were just they got Tom Brady and they were a wild card team. Who was the 1 seed that year? Philadelphia, Minnesota were the top 2 teams in the playoffs that year in the NFC.
I'm looking it up.
Was that a Stefanski year? He won it twice.
Oh, it was Vrabel.
Vrabel?
Yeah, it was Vrabel.
They were the 1 seed, and then they lost in the first round at home in Tennessee.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It would have been interesting. All right, we're going to hit a quick break, and we'll be back right after this.
Rouse's Markets is voted best grocery store in New Orleans, best grocery store in Baton Rouge, Mississippi, Gulf Coast, Thibodaux, Houma, Hammond, Lake Charles, Mobile, year after year. Thank you for choosing us best grocery store on the Gulf Coast. Number 1. Thank you.
Thank you.
The number 1 grocery store
In Mississippi, Alabama,
Louisiana. 1 million customers a week can't be wrong. Welcome to Rouse's.
The NewOrleans.Football show is proudly presented by PJ's Coffee. PJ's Coffee has some of the best drinks that you can find. They have locations all over the city. They have pastries and everything else you need to get your day started. So go check them out. Looking for the best insurance coverage at the lowest price? Look no further than Chaubert Insurance, the Earhart Agency. They are a local independent insurance agency right here in New Orleans, specializing in home, flood, and auto insurance. At Chaubert Insurance, the Earhart Agency, their dedicated team will shop every available carrier in the market, ensuring you get the most comprehensive coverage at the lowest possible price. Why settle for less when you can have the best? Trust Chaubert Insurance, the Earhart Agency, to protect what matters most to you. I do. I've been a client of theirs since 2021. Call them today at 504-326-6526 or visit them online at Protected by Chaubert. That's 504-326-6526. Chaubert Insurance, the Earhart Agency, your local insurance experts. Hardhide flavored whiskey, Ponchatoula strawberry, and Chilton County peaches in your favorite bars, stores, and restaurants. Hardhide Chilton County Peach Whiskey is a blend of aged wheat whiskey, light American whiskey, and fresh Chilton County peaches from Alabama's Durbin Family Farms. And Hardhide Strawberry Whiskey tells the story of a small town famous for strawberry farming. A delicious natural strawberry-infused 86-proof whiskey for whiskey lovers. Just look for the red and orange bottles in your favorite stores, bars, and restaurants. Welcome back to PJ's Coffee for today's episode of NewOrleans.Football. Our next topic is presented by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Which position on the roster do you think needs the biggest investment to just get better, be good, buoy their chances? Like what needs to... Where do the Tides need to rise?
For this season? For
yeah.
For the rebuilding in general?
You can say both.
Yeah. I mean, I think...
Take it however you want.
I think at this point, it's pass catcher or corner. The only way I want a corner, me and B were talking about this with Asante Samley the other day, is if it's a number 1 corner. I don't need just another body at corner. So If you told me I could get a number one at any position, it's corner or wide receiver.
The
if
end?
You told me, yeah, but not. I don't want to just add a body to the end either.
No, you're saying a number one. I'm taking a number one D end over anything.
Yeah,
right
but
now.
I guess I'm basing this on who's out there.
Okay.
Like realistic options.
Realistic options, yeah.
Like unless you're trading for Trey Hendrickson or something, I guess, I'd rather have Trey Hendrickson than a corner or a receiver.
Sure.
But I don't want to, if I'm adding a Zadarius Smith or an Asante Samuel or frankly even a Keenan Allen, I think the league is telling us what Keenan Allen is right now. I might want the number one corner, but I'd probably lean pass catcher. The right kind of pass catcher.
Does Trey Hendrickson make sense?
No, I do not want them to add.
I don't think so either.
I do not want to spend what it would cost in both draft capital and money to get Trey Hendrickson.
He's old.
And he's older.
Surprising.
He's not on their timeline.
For some reason, he feels younger than everybody else in that 17 class. Everybody else in that class, you look at him, you're like, oh, that guy's old. But it's like probably because he was under wraps for so long, and we never really watched him play, and it feels like...
It's the same age as Ramczyk and Lattimore.
Exactly. It feels like he joined the team in like 2020 for some reason. Like it's just like, oh, look at this guy they drafted, Trey Hendrickson. I don't know. But he's old. Yeah, he doesn't make sense. He doesn't make sense on the timeline. He's on a different trajectory than I think the rest of the team. I would be excited to watch him play if they got him, while also knowing that it was like, man, this does not make sense at all for them to do right now. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, realistic options, Asante, Keenan Allen, whatever. Like, give me either one. Which one needs the biggest investment, though? I think I feel worse about corner than I do with the current state of wide receiver.
Yeah, I agree. I want it to be a number one corner because I don't just need another Isaac Gautam, Quincy Riley level player. I don't just need another
Forget
body.
about Quincy Riley.
But me and B were talking too. Asante Samuel, this is crazy. I don't know. I'm sure you listened to the show afterward that we discovered Asante Samuel is 3 days younger than Tyler Shough, and he's already a free agent.
Is that serious? Are you for real?
He made his NFL debut as a 21-year-old, and so he just turned 25. Or he turns 26 this year. He's 25.
He's only been in the league for 5 years?
Well, his 4 years, because he was a second-round pick, 4 years, and then he became a free agent. So I would love the idea of adding him, and then you can decide if Alontae Taylor's worth re-upping next year or whatever. I think that'd be huge for this team to add that at corner. If there was a 25-year-old receiver at that level, I'd be screaming for him, but I don't, that's why I like Samuel the best of anyone, I think.
All right. And that just blew my, like, he feels older too. It feels like he's been in the league for a long time.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to our next topic, presented by Bobby Hebert's Cajun Cannon Restaurant. Mickey Loomis talked today at the Saints Hall of Fame golf tournament, talking about the primetime games, and he said that basically, like, they got to earn it. Like, that's what the league
gave the right answer.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about them? I guess the question is like, really, they did not get one primetime game? I was even surprised earlier in the week. Like, I looked it up. I'm like, do they have to get a Thursday game? I thought everybody had to. Yeah. That changed a couple of years ago. I mean, I wouldn't, if I'm a dude living in Idaho or whatever, like, I'm probably not super interested in the Saints right now. So, I mean, it is reflective, and I'm also okay with it because this is what I wanted for them. I wanted them to be on this path, and this is kind of a consequence for being on that path, is that you aren't interesting for a little bit, at least on a national scale. I think this team's more interesting locally than it was last year probably, but I think outside of here, if you aren't a close follower of the storylines, you don't get it. Yeah. So I get it.
No one wants to watch that. No one. Actually, I was shocked Tennessee didn't get any primetime games because I would think people would at least want to watch Cam Ward. But no one wants to watch. They're wake us up when you've fixed it. We don't want to watch the process of you fixing it. It's not an insult at all. Like, I embrace it if I'm the Saints because, like, don't be halfway in. Don't try to be halfway interesting. Don't try to hang on to something you don't have. Go all in on what you are right now, and that means no primetime games, and that means every Sunday at noon. Good. Do this for a year or two, and then and then be the Falcons when you're about ready to pounce and everybody's like, I think this team might make a playoff run this year, and you get 5 primetime games, which is insane. The Lions the year before, they love it when you're the rising team.
When you're the Jets and then your quarterback gets hurt in week 1, and then everybody's got to watch him every single week, and it's absolutely brutal. And then look, it just is where they're at. I get it again. But I honestly think this team, at least right now, today, going into the season, I am more interested in this team right now than I have been in a while. And I think part of that is probably also like us and a lot of people watching them and fans and the fan base. Like, people are just kind of ready for this process, and they want to find out if there is a better outcome. But no doubt about it, it's like kind of one of the movies where there's like no star power in it, and like people are just like, wow, this was really good. Like, you got to be like told to watch it. Yeah. But it isn't like, oh, like Chalamet's in this movie, let me go watch it. Like, they don't have that, right?
They don't have Chalamet on this team.
Yeah. They do not. They do not. We're going to hit a quick break, and we'll be back with the Get Gordon question of the day.
I got hurt in a car wreck. Why should I get Gordon?
Because when you're hurt, you need money. And I fight for the people of Southeast Louisiana every day. I got a client who injured their neck in a car wreck, $250,000. Another client was hit by a big truck and needed back surgery. I got them $700,000, and they deserved every single penny.
That's what I'm talking about. Why wouldn't I get Gordon?
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, just call me, New Orleans. Get it done.
Call 504-800-8888.
You ever take a bite of something and immediately think, yeah, I'm coming back for this? Bobby Hebert's Cajun Cannon Restaurant just added some new dishes, and man, they crushed it. The shrimp and crawfish pistolettes, golden and stuffed with bold Cajun flavor. Fried oyster tacos, crispy, fresh with the perfect kick. And the soft shell crab Alfredo, creamy, rich, and absolutely worth the order. They're open 7 days a week, and they deliver late. Bobby Hebert's Cajun Cannon Restaurant. Delicious food, superior service. Attention Saints fans, don't let pests and termites invade your home field. Trust the team at Red Pest Solutions to tackle those unwelcome visitors. Call the Red Man today for unbeatable pest and termite control. Score peace with no pest. Visit redpest.com, REDDPEST.com.
Here at the Queen Casino, indulgence knows no bounds. Prepare your taste buds for an extraordinary culinary journey. Start your day at Capital Coffee. Craving something different? Three Walks Noodle Bar offers a tantalizing selection of Asian delights. At 1717 Kitchen and Cocktails, savor American cuisine with a twist. Or ascend to the loft for an elevated experience. Enjoy artesian grazing boards and exquisite craft cocktails. Join us at the Queen Casino. Your royal adventure awaits.
It is now time for the Get Gordon question of the day, presented by Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you get into a wreck, make sure you call Gordon. They'll get you right. They'll get you on the road, and they will get you the best payout, and they will make sure you're taken care of during your time of need. Today's question comes from the Saints, the City, and Me, a great podcast. If you are not listening to it already, make sure you check it out. They really kind of capture the spirit of being a overseas Saints fan, so make sure you check out their show. They asked us, what type of season, statistically or just general performance-wise, does Shough need to put up, regardless of win-loss number, to silence anyone that is still a naysayer?
Well, as they know as well as we do, the naysayers, first of all, get off social media and you'll enjoy his season even more probably, because there will be naysayers no matter what. Like, if he doesn't have...
Did they say naysayers over there?
No, I don't know.
How's it sound with the accent?
I don't know if he could have Bo Nix's season and still shut out the naysayers. But look, I do think in general, we just talked about this in the previous segment, we're ready for, I think Saints fans are ready for a rebuilding process that'll take a while, and it just needs to be signs of progress. It doesn't have to be 11 or 12 wins. It doesn't have to be Pro Bowl. It doesn't have to be 4,000 yards and 100 passer rating. It needs to look good. It needs to be progress. It needs to be like, he's probably a better pick than Jackson Dart and Shedeur Sanders, or at least every bit as good of a pick as those guys were. And my question is, what about the Spencer Rattler line? I mean, I know Rattler went 0-6 last year, but does it have to look better than Rattler looked last year to you? Probably a little.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No question. Yeah, definitely. at least right away. If he is a great unifier, I mean, you've hit a grand slam pick.
Yes.
Out of you're getting C.J. Stroud's rookie season. If you get C.J. Stroud's second season, I think people are still like fighting over it. Like, I think that bar is really high to kind of silence every single person in the fan base. But, I think generally speaking, level-headed people, it's going to be obvious whether it's the right path or it's the wrong path. And, I think if you're just walking that right path, it's kind of clear. But again, we live in a world where like people fight over what the Pope's doing, and it's like a room full of like holy
supports
people.
the wrong Chicago baseball team. I know that.
You know what I mean? It's just like people have opinions on like everything is a fight now. It's just kind of the way it is. So I don't think there'll ever be another. I don't even know if like a Drew Brees is possible. Like there's like a Mahomes, there's a Brees, there's a Burrow, but like even when you get down to like QB5, Justin Herbert, like there's fighting. So I mean, is he a great unifier? I don't know. I don't know that I see like a generational.
I got one for you, right?
Yet.
1-2 record. Now this is a small scale, obviously. 1-2 record, 775 yards, 3 TDs, 3 interceptions. Where's the total yardage in 3 games? That's Michael Penix. But I feel like people are fired up about Michael Penix. Like, why? Does he get that same benefit? Just being young?
Who's excited about Michael Penix?
I feel like people are excited about Michael Penix. Just got 5 primetime games. I feel like everyone thinks Atlanta's heading in the right direction. They paid $45 million to Kirk Cousins to just sit back, and they declared Michael Penix the winner of that job. It doesn't take that much, right? Like,
I don't know, man.
Just being young and being cheap and being good enough to start.
What was their record in those games?
1-2.
1-2.
Because I thought it was going to be better than that.
I feel like people got excited about Bo Nix before I felt like Bo Nix deserved to be excited about. It felt like maybe there was something there, but like when they played on Thursday night, I was like, man,
I didn't see it. I didn't see it then.
Yeah, I don't know, but like, yeah, you might be right here, man. But I feel like in this particular market, like I think there's because I mean, look, you have. There's people that really believe in the other guy too.
It's a great question. They believe in the other guy here, and they believe in guys they didn't draft. I feel like the standard for Jackson Dart in New York is going to be different than the standard for Tyler Shough here because of the debate that existed the moment he was drafted.
Well, here's the thing: the benefit that he has is he's going up against 2 known commodities. There's no on-top potential. There's no Jameis got cheated. Some people think that, but like there's really no Jameis got cheated. There's no Russell Wilson got cheated. It's just we know what these guys are. They've had the opportunities. Spencer Rattler's played 6 games, and he looked pretty good at times. And at times there was things to be legitimately excited about. He got dealt a bad hand, bad offensive line, bad receivers, bad everything. So, yeah, there is you're fighting against on-top potential and upside and some mythical thing that's unmeasurable. So whatever someone believes on the other side of the room about Spencer Rattler is real to them, and there's really no way to argue against it because he just never really – he got 6 games in a bad situation, and he looked okay for 50% of his snaps, and you're fighting against that. So, yeah, it's going to be tough, but if he can silence everyone, that means like he's hitting a really, really high bar, and I hope he does. Like,
so for him to do that, if that's what the question is, for him to did you say unifier? That was a good word, or bringing all the fan base together and everyone agreeing. We got the guy. We found the guy. Let's go. That's gonna have to be pretty special. That is gonna have to be wins. That's gonna have to be Bo Nix's season.
Yeah,
Bo Nix's season.
Yeah,
that's the bar.
Yeah, I agree. That's gonna do it for today's show. Make sure you sign up for the site. Use the code 20% off. Use the code NOF to save 20% off your first payment. We do use full sentences there, unlike I just did right here. Thank you guys for checking out the show. We'll talk to you next time.